Welcome back, friends and families, to SIPPS lesson number 28 with me, Miss X. Let's go ahead and begin by taking a look at new spelling sound relationships for today. Let's take a look at our first one here. Sound, O, again, O, sound, O. Okay, our next one. Now, for this spelling sound, we have two ways of sounding it out. The first way is going to be O. The second way is going to be ow. Ready? Sound, O, sound, ow. Great job. Let's now review our older ones, or our older spelling sounds. Sound, I. Sound, oo and you. Sound, o. Sound, a. Sound, e. Sound, s. Sound, s. Sound, sound, k, sound, k, sound, k. So these are some of our older spelling sounds that are a little bit tricky, so great job. Now we are going to go ahead and move on to our syllables. Let's go ahead and now read our mixed list of words and syllable types, okay? Underline sound, O. Think, read, oak. Underline sound, A. Think, read, sail. First underline sound, gr. Second underline sound, O. So it's going to be the first sound. O, because remember when we see O-W, it can be O or ow. Second sound, ready? Gr, first underline sound, gr. Second underline sound, O. Think, read, groan. Underline sound, k. Think, read, rock. Underline sound. This is going to be the first sound, ready? O, think, read, toe. And moving on to our syllables over here. Underline sound, A, think, read, 8. Underline sound, O, think, read, loat. Now we're going to say this underline sound in both ways that we know it. With the first sound, which is O, second sound is ow. Ready? Think, read, first sound, do. Think, read, second sound, dow. Underline sound, O. Think, read, roke. Underline sound, O. Think, read, moke. Okay, moving on to our morphemic transformations. Take a look at our base word. Read, excite. Read, ing. Read the whole word, exciting. Read, ed. Read the whole word, excited. Read, ed. Read, excited. Read, un. Read the whole word, unexcited. Let's keep going. Read, excite. Read, meant. Read the whole word, excitement. Read, excite. Read, able. Read the whole word, excitable. Let's go on to our next word. Read our base word, spell. Read, miss. Read the whole word, misspell. Base word, spell. Read, miss. Read, misspell. Read, d. Read the whole word, misspelled. Read, spell. Read, miss. Read, misspell. Read, ing. Read the whole word, misspelling. Great job. Let's keep going. Our first syllable is going to be tive, kind of like native. Okay, so spell T-I-V-E. Read, tive, spell T-I-V-E. Read again, tive, kind of like native. All right, let's keep going. Okay, read. I know this is tricky. Read, ative, kind of like relative. Read again, ative. Spell A-T-I-V-E. Read again, ative. Okay, our next syllable. Read, iv. Spell I-V-E. And read again, iv. Spell I-V-E. Kind of like expensive. Alrighty, and then we have an irregular word card for today's lesson, and that is the word says. Spell S-A-Y-S. Read, says, again, says. Now we're going to go ahead and review some of our older sight syllables. Ready? Read, ent. Kind of like different. Read again, ent. Read, ves, again, ves, kind of like vessel. Okay, ready? Read, cap, again, cap, kind of like captain, meaning head. Read, sieve, spell C-I-V. Read again, sieve, meaning citizen, kind of like the word civil. So, sieve, kind of like the word civil, meaning citizen. Read, back, again, back, kind of like factory, meaning make. Read, manned, again, manned, kind of like command or demand, meaning order. Okay. Read, dis, again, dis, kind of like distance. Okay. Read, grat, again, grat, kind of like gratitude, meaning thank. Okay, and last sight syllable for review. Read, spect, again, spect, kind of like inspect, meaning look. Moving on to reading by syllables, remember, pay attention to what I write down first, and then I will ask you to read it. Read, all. Read, low. Try for the real word, allow. So, my friends, we have a schwa here where the A is. Our sound changed from ah to and we call that a schwa. So, our real word is allow. Let's keep going. Read, app. Read, approach. Try for the real word, approach. My friends, we have another schwa here where the A is. It changed from a to and we call that a schwa. Our real word is approach. Read, shad. Read, oh. Try for the real word, shadow. Read, a. Read, bored. Try for the real word, aboard. We also have a schwa here. It changed from a to and we call that a schwa because it doesn't sound like its usual short or long vowel sound. Our real word is aboard. Read, nay. Read, tivs. And this is an irregular sight syllable, tivs. Try for the real word, native. Read, x. Read, plain. Try for the real word, explain. Read, pop. Read, you. Read, lay. Read, shun. Shun is an irregular sight syllable, and remember that when we have vowels at the end of the syllables, they are usually long sounds. So the A is the last letter in that syllable, so that's why it's a lay instead of la. That's why it's population instead of population. And the same thing for the U. Remember, when you have a vowel at the end of the syllable, it's going to usually be a long vowel sound. All right, try for the real word, population. And then again, we have our irregular sight syllable of shun there. Okay, let's keep going. Read, rep, read, re. Remember that E is the last one in that syllable, so it's going to be a long E. Read, sent, re, a, read, tiv. Remember, this is one of our new sight syllables that we're looking at for today's lessons focus. All right, my friends, so let's go back and take a look at that. We have two schwas in our word representative here. So typically that would be a long E sound and that would be a long A sound if it were a normal word. But we have two schwas in here. This changed from E to and this changed from this changed from A to E to and then A to representative. The real word, representative. Do you hear that? Yeah, it changed. It's not the normal E sound. It's not the normal A sound. And that's why those are called schwas. Okay, let's go ahead and keep going. We have two challenge words. Read, E. Read, lek. Read, trick. Read, I. Read, T. Okay? Try for the real word, electricity. So, my friends, you'll notice that for the word electricity, the I is actually a short I. Sometimes we have to be flexible about our rules. So again, we said that usually when a syllable, it ends in a vowel, it's typically a long sound, but as great word wizards, we are learning to be flexible. So again, the word is electricity, and we understand that the I here is going to be a short I. And you'll also notice that we have an old sound with the Y. When you have a consonant before it, it's going to be a long E sound. And it has way more than one syllable. Let's go ahead and finish up our last one. Read, rec. Read, og. Read, nice. Try for the real word, recognize. And again, here, my friends, we have another schwa here, and it changed from to to So our real word is recognize. Recognize. Great job, my friends. Let's keep it moving. Moving on to reading entire words, let's take a look at our first word here. Is there an irregular sight syllable at the end? There absolutely is. Our irregular sight syllable in our first word here is Now, how many consonants are in between our two vowels? There are two consonants in between our two vowels. Divide where? In between the two consonants. Great job. First syllable, bar. Second syllable, burr. Try for the real word, barber. Great job. Let's keep going. Now on to our second word here. Do we have an irregular sight syllable at the end? No, we do not. How many consonants do we have in between our two vowels? We have one consonant. And my friends, usually remember when we have a BCV pattern, we typically like to split before the consonant. So before the consonant. So let's go ahead and see. First syllable, chai. Second syllable, na. Try for the real word, China. Great job. And my friends, you'll notice that here we have a, let's see, let me put this here. We have a schwa here as well, because instead of China or China, it's China. And that's a schwa because it doesn't sound like it's normal vowel sound. Okay, let's keep going. Take a look at our next word here. Do we have an irregular sight syllable? Yes, we absolutely do, my friends. Our irregular sight syllable is ball. Now, usually when we have an irregular sight syllable like that, it's usually a syllable by itself, so we don't have to work too hard when we split a word that has an irregular sight syllable. So our first syllable is nib, second syllable is ball. So try for the real word, nibble. Next word. Do we have an irregular sight syllable, my friends? Yes, we absolutely do. Our irregular sight syllable is shun. Okay? And just like nibble, it's a lot easier because we know that it's already a syllable by itself, so we can just split it pretty easily. We can usually split it right before the irregular sight syllable. And then we can double check that it makes sense. First syllable, stay. Yep, that makes sense because the A is the last letter of that syllable. First syllable, stay. Second syllable, shun. Try for the real word, station. Moving on. Do we have an irregular sight syllable in this word here? No, we do not. How many consonants do we have in between our two vowels? We have one consonant. And remember, when we have a VCV pattern like this, we usually split right before the consonant. And we can double check that it makes sense based on our rules. First syllable, ho. That makes a lot of sense because the O is the last letter of that first syllable, so it would typically make a long O sound. First syllable, ho. Second syllable, tell. Try for the real word, hotel. Great job, my friends. Let's go ahead and move on. Do we have an irregular sight syllable here? No, we do not. Let's take a look at our VCV patterns. How many consonants are in between our two vowels here? We have one consonant in between our two vowels. Now, again, we're really thinking about when we see a VCV pattern, we typically split right before the consonants. Let's try that. Let's see if that makes sense, okay? First syllable, co. Second syllable, mix. Co-mix? Let's try it. Let's be flexible. Let's try it after the consonant. First syllable, com. Second syllable, ix. Try for the real word, comics. Oh, my friends, I'm hearing comics. I'm hearing that, So comics is a strange word, my friends. So again, we typically would split right before that consonant. And if you hear the word comics, you'll hear that the M actually sounds like it's with the second syllable. We don't hear comics. We hear comics. So it would make more sense to follow our rule of splitting right before the consonant in this word comics. And instead of it being a long O, it's going to be a short O. And we can be flexible again, my friends. All right, my friends, so moving on to guided spelling, we have 3 words that we are going to be spelling together as a team today. Our first word is satellite. The satellite circled Earth. Say satellite. Great job. We're going to say satellite by syllables. I'll say the syllables in a way that will help you spell. Satellite. And I want you to repeat the syllables after me. Our first syllable, sat. Let's go ahead and write that out, right? Sat. And that's a sound out syllable. Next syllable, so sat, o. That syllable has a schwa. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. That syllable has a schwa. We're going to use the E spelling. Alrighty. Now, our last syllable, satellite. Which I? Let's take a look. This first spelling of I, and you'll notice that there's a picture of a kite because they all make the I sound. Oops, sorry about that. And we're going to use the first spelling with the I and the E, okay? O, I, T. Go ahead and underline your sounds that you're used to or that we know. Just like that. Great job. Check your work, and if you made a mistake, underline that mistake and then write the correct word above the incorrect one. All right. So we're going to read satellite, and it's spelled S-A-T-E-L-L-I-T-E. Great job, my friends. We're going to move on to our second one here. Moving on to our second one here. Our second word is Chinese. I really like Chinese food. Say Chinese. Great job. I'm going to say the word in syllables that will help you spell. First syllable, chai. Now, we're going to capitalize the first letter because it is a proper noun. It is a proper noun. It is the specific name for a group of people. It is the specific name for a nation of people. Okay. Now, so we capitalize the first letter, and we also have the ch sound. So we're going to write that down. And then now we're going to go ahead and take a look and figure out which spelling of the I do we need to write. So, take a look at the picture of the kite because these all make the I sound. We're actually just going to use the single I letter for the sound I in chai. Go ahead and write that down because when we hear a long vowel at the end of a syllable, it's often one vowel letter. Now, for our second syllable, our first syllable was chai, second syllable is niece. Which E should we use? Let's take a look. So, I found the picture of the tree. I know these all make the long E sound. We're going to go ahead and use that first spelling with the E space E. Okay, let's take a look. Chai, n, E, s. Great job. And so our word reads Chinese, spelled C-H-I-N-E-S-E. Great job. And our last word, adopt. I am going to adopt a dog for my birthday. Adopt. I'm going to go ahead and say this in syllables in a way that will help you spell out adopt. For the first syllable, this is a schwa. We're going to use this spelling. We're going to use the spelling with an A. So our first syllable is and that was a schwa. We're going to use the letter A to represent that schwa sound. Okay. Second syllable, dot, dot. Listen to the sounds. That is a sound out syllable. D, d, ah, pt. I hear a P and a T at the end. Great job, my friends. So your spellings should look exactly like mine. And if they don't, make sure you underline the part where you messed up and then write the correct spelling on top. Don't erase the incorrect one because that helps you see your mistakes and what you need to practice. Great job, my friends. I will see you in our next lesson.